Alright, just another quick one. I didn't have time to do a homebrew Wednesday video this week, but just thought I'd throw a couple of updates out there. I bottled the 2 split batches of beer that I did. I bottled the lager first, the chili lager, which early taste tastes really good. The chili's there, it's got a nice little burn to it, but it's not overpoweringly hot. I did hop it out with some Amarillo hops as well. I think you can sort of taste them. I think it must just nicely balance it rather than you don't get one more than the other, more hops or more chili. It's kind of like a nice balance to it. And the other one which I hopped with Dana hops, again, which are meant to give a citrusy taste, that I put in the harvest bitters that I've given to a few people. And I crushed up a load of coriander seeds in the boil and also put some in there a week later in the dry hop. That hasn't got an overpoweringly orange and citrusy taste, but it's almost got what my wife described as almost like a very fresh taste to it, like a nice German wheat beer or something like that. It just tastes very fresh, but I mean they're still really young. They've just gone in the bottle on Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll give them a couple of weeks to carbonate and then see what they're like, and if they're any good I might send out to a couple of people, but they are very experimental, so I know. It's worth a go. I mean, the kit was only £2 and the chilies were like, I don't know, £1, and the coriander seeds we already had here, the Dana hops were left over, so it hasn't really been an expensive experiment. The only thing was a bit of a bitch was cleaning these out afterwards where the krausen settled on the lip of that. It was a nightmare, so the only thing I could think of was one of those bottle brushes I got from my work. I kind of bent it into a really odd shape, but it manages to get right into the top of the container to get it all out. Other than that, just put some normal household bleach in it and I'll let it sit overnight. I mean, that stuff just works wonders. I mean, other than I use Star San for my sterilising on bottle days and things like that, but good old household bleach to get rid of smells and things like that and actually clean stuff out, you can't go wrong really. And at the price that it is in supermarkets, you know, you've got no excuse to not keep stuff nice and clean. I started the port kit, and you can see behind me the one that Brewmaster Ben did a video of. Ben did tell me to use a blast pipe. I don't know why I didn't. The wife come out and said the kitchen stinks of port this morning. There was port all over the side of the working surface. I've now put a blow off tube that's going into another demijohn. And you can even see there that it filled that up a little bit. The only thing I wondered, when you do that in demijohns, how much you actually lose of wine to the overall product. I know only a little bit comes out, but there was quite a bit of wine over the work surface. I mean, you can obviously top that with water, they advise you to most times, but are you actually watering down your thing? I mean, should we both have used a bigger container, a plastic container, so that anything that rises up is just going to fall back in? Because anything that's coming out of the airlock, it surely is just lost and must just water your brew down after you top it up with water. But, you know, it's one of them things. I don't have an extra spare bucket to have put it in, so what else is going on? I've still got to test the boiler out. Don't know when I'm going to get an opportunity to do that. It needs to be on a Saturday really, possibly next Saturday. I have got the cutter now to cut for the tap, but I want to test it and do a dry run first with the normal tap in it, make sure it gets to rolling boil, because if it don't, it could just go straight back to the shop. I don't want to cut it first and then I think they'll be worried why there's a big hole in their boiler that wasn't there before, and certainly won't be getting a refund out of that. Whether or not that will be the long-term boiler, I don't know, because something else might be happening with a boiler, but who knows. Next kit I'm going to do is the wheat beer kit that I got off Brew UK. It's quite an easy one, it's just an extract kit. I'm going to keep the yeast from that and reuse it in the other 2 tins of harvest lager that I've got. I'm going to put both tins in the bucket, use the wheat beer yeast, and maybe steep some grains and use a ton load of Amarillo hops and dry hop it to hell with some Amarillo as well, and see if an actual lager yeast can make those kits any better than the ale yeast you get with them. Because to be honest, most people that buy them kits expecting to get a lager, I don't think they ever taste anything like a decent lager, because they come with an ale yeast. I mean, how is it going to create something from something else? I don't know. Bit of a weird thing that. I guess it's all to do with fermenting temperatures and that. The novice home brewer isn't going to chill down and like that with a lager. They're just going to want to set it and forget it kind of thing. So I can see why they do it. Otherwise, people would be complaining all the time that they didn't get a true lager from it, I suppose. I've still got to do my Columbus hopped IPA. Got a few extra ingredients for that to bring up the alcohol a little bit. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Once those 3 kits are out of the way, I'm considering it possibly getting a all grain kit rather than getting my grain straight away, just so I can get to grips with my equipment, make sure that it's definitely for me. Not that I'm going to quit out on it or anything, but I just want to do a kit just so I've got everything straightforward, do that, and then as soon as that's out of the way, also money's a factor as well. I don't want to spend 30 quid on a bag of grain and then do it and then find out that it's not going to be practical for me to do it, and then I've got a bag of grain sitting around. I'd rather just buy a simple kit, do the kit, and then see how we go from there. And then after that, I'm going to look into storing some grain at my mum's house and then having a bag of grain there, and then hopefully get a single grain brew in at least once a month, and then any kit brews I could probably just brew in the flat here, so I've got a readily supply of easy beer, and then all the grain beer can be done there. I mean, one a month wouldn't be too bad. I don't think it'd take me too long to get through the whole bag. So that's on the cards. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I'm considering doing something with the corny kegs. I don't, it's a bit of a shame that they're being wasted there at the moment at my mum's. I thought of trying to get using these little CO2 bottles. Apparently you can charge the keg up, prime it with the CO2 and that, let it carbonate for a week or so, and then I've got this little tap thing that attaches to, and you can dispense the little bulbs like that you get with the old style kegs that you can use when you get with the kits and that. But they're a 16 gram bulb, and apparently about 3 of them will dispense a whole corny keg. How will it work out? I don't know, but it'd be nice to have a keg of beer at the flat anytime I want it. But the only thing is chilling it down. I mean, it's just going to probably be in the back room of the flat, which is always quite cool. So I could keep it in there and then chill it down in there, and then just have a party tap on it, and just be able to draw off a pint whenever I needed one. I think that'd be quite a good little thing, and it'll make use of the kegs, which would be a good thing. Decided to make my own wort chiller, partly because of cost. I'm just thinking that a lot of things, while it is good, to buy certain things, I'm pleased on a mash tun that I got off Harry. There are certain things I wouldn't mind having a go at making myself. I mean, I'm probably likely to bodge things up from time to time, but I think the wort chiller looks quite a straightforward thing, and for the price of the copper, for 20 quid to make it, rather than pay, I mean, the cheapest I've seen is 35, but you've still got to add delivery to that. I'd rather know that I made it for 20 quid, even if it don't look great, it'll do the job for 20 quid rather than 35 or even more for what they sell on the internet. I mean, you can tell obviously some people probably just make them and sell them, why not? If you've got the time to sit there and make them, who can blame people? But for 20 quid I think I'll probably just make my own. And other than that, then I will be pretty much set up for my all grain. I was going to do the no chill route, but after speaking to Tiny and that, and changing the hop utilisation and things like that, I don't think I want to risk doing that so early on in my all grain, if you like. It's just another variable to get wrong. I think I just want to rather keep it simple. Have the boiler, the mash tun, hot liquor tank maybe, and then have the chiller to chill it down. I don't want to have to worry about sort of adjusting hops and things like that. I just want to kind of set it and forget it, keep it simple. Putting too much stuff in there too soon can confuse things, and you just end up stressing yourself out and making things awkward. Why overcomplicate things? If I do decide to change in the future, I might. I mean, I can get the containers from my work relatively cheap, but I don't know. Sometimes things can be more. I can understand why Tiny does it. I perfectly understand that, the saving of the water and things like that, and that's one of the reasons I've wanted to do it as well, is because it was saving of time. It would save water that isn't my water, because it's my mum's water. But in all honesty, I think I'll just recycle the water that comes out of the chiller for washing up anyway, and then sort of make use of it that way, recycle a little bit. But yeah, I think I'd rather just take the the extra worry about if I've adjusted the hops accordingly, and then wondering why my beer doesn't taste like I wanted it to, and things like that. So I think I'm just going to go down that route. Alright, so I think I've pretty much waffled on enough. Probably the longest video that I've ever upped. I'm nearing on 90 subscribers, which is pretty good. I mean, I never even thought I'd get about 20, to be honest. So thanks to everyone that does subscribe and listens to me chatting absolute rubbish. Yeah, like and keep on subbing. Thank you, everyone. Cheers again, Harry.